G'day guys, kevSpec. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today we've got for you a quick how-to on how to clean your driver's side pod filter. So believe it or not, I couldn't find any how-to or any servicing videos on how to clean your pod filter on a BA to FGX series Falcon. I'm sure every second turbo Falcon out there has got a pod filter on the driver's side. So here's a quick how-to on how to clean your Washable, whether it's K&N or another brand of washable air cleaner. This is a quick how-to on how to do the service on your driver's side air intake. Just quickly, obviously got the wheel giveaway going. 20 spots left, so don't forget to get your entries in to the wheel giveaway. The entry details are on my merch store, so go to www.kevspec.com and all the entry details are in there, so you can win these beautiful 20-inch restored Argents. Alright, so if you want to check out a couple of videos restoring these wheels, go and check out a couple of my previous videos on the restoration of these bad boys. And like I said, this is getting drawn on the 20th of October, so you still have a couple of weeks to get your entries in. And on that note, people that have entered, I'm not seeing a lot of photos uploaded on Insta. I've got 3 or 4 at the moment, so maybe a bit of a my muck up. You've got to follow me on Instagram so I can follow you back, otherwise I won't see the tag. So make sure you look up kevSpec, not Kevin Weaver, you know, my personal Insta. Look up kevSpec and make sure you get those photos with your sticker on your car uploaded so I can get you in the draw. And don't forget to check out all my merch. So we've got the new stickers. Woo, check them out. We've got stickers on my merch store. We've got t-shirts. We've got hoodies. We've got black hoodies, white hoodies. There's a few really cool designs there. So go and check out my merch store, www.kevspec.com. And don't forget to chuck your entries in for the video. So let's get into the video. Before we do, just a quick shout out. One of our club members, Nicholas Polides, has gotten a little bit sick. He's in hospital. We just want to give a massive shout out to Nicholas Polides. Hope you're doing well, mate. Get well soon, and we're all rooting for you, and our prayers are with you, mate. Love you, bro. Don't forget to subscribe. If you hit the like button at the end of the video, that'd be great. Hope yous are all well. Stay safe. Remember, it's not wrong, it's not right, it's kevSpec. Have a good one, guys. You! Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, kevSpec. I'd just like to thank all my subscribers for watching the video, and if you're new, I hope to earn your subscription today. So today we've got my 2008 FG Falcon, Ford Falcon sedan. So this is the 6-cylinder Barra Turbo. So typically, the airbox is on this side of the vehicle in factory fitted form. And when we do all our modifications so we can have the airbox on the turbo side, we relocate the battery to this side and we now have a pod filter in here. So I'm going to go through today the procedure of removing and cleaning your pod filter on your driver's side turbo intake. Okay, things we're going to need for the cleaning today of our pod filter. We've got the induction cleaner, a flat blade screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a cordless drill, our K&N cleaner kit, and a bucket of warm water, and a hose. So pretty much that's all you need. So step 1 is to remove the cover. Now most of them are the same. Some of them have more or less screws, but you've got a couple of screws on top. You just want to undo those. Okay, so that just lifts off. It's just a cover with 3 screws on it. Pretty basic. Put that aside for now. Okay, so there's your pod filter just there. Pretty simple, 1 hose clamp. And I like to just give it a bit of a twist. If it's been on there for a little while. I cleaned this a couple of months ago, so it's not too bad. There you go, so there's your K&N pod filter. You can see it's not too bad. Now while the air cleaner's off, I like to run a bit of induction cleaner through the system. It just helps clean the cylinder head, the intake manifold, get any oil and vapour out of your intake system. It's really good stuff, I highly recommend it. Some people hate putting chemicals through their engines. I'm a bit of a fan of it. Nowadays these modern chemicals do wonders. And it's a lot better than having to clean your engine out every 100,000 K. So we'll start her up. Obviously, whenever you're starting a vehicle with the air cleaner off, just be ultra careful. Nothing can get sucked in here, because if it does, it's all over. So the cleaner I'm going to put through is this stuff, just goes through the air intake. I'm just running the cleaner through the engine. Obviously I've got the revs raised up a bit. You want to do it at about 2000 RPM. I'm just going to run some of this through the intake, just a little bit at a time, you know, a couple of seconds, and then let it breathe, a couple of seconds. A little bit at a time. That's enough. Just let it breathe for a minute. Okay, so now we're going to clean the filter. We've got our cleaner there. I really only recommend using this stuff. I'm sure other guys have got other ways of doing it. I don't know what this stuff is, but it works really well. It's designed for air cleaners. These kits are like $30. I get about 3 years out of them. So for the sake of 30 bucks, get yourself a good cleaning kit. So I like to use warm water. Obviously, oily, gritty, sticky substances come off better with a bit of warm water. So basically you just soak this quite liberally with the cleaner inside and out. And I mean, you know, really soak it. You see the filter's got a little bit of a pinkish hue to it. That's what we sort of want to replicate once we put the oil back on. The oil's actually red in colour, pinky in colour, so we sort of want to replicate that same sort of amount of oil on there. Bit on the inside. Just want to let that soak for about 10 minutes and then we'll come back and give it a clean. Alright, we've let that sit for about 10 minutes. Let it do its thing and soak up the gunk. We'll just chuck it into our warmish hot water and give it a good swirl around. And you can see instantly that water changes colour to a yucky. Basically instantly takes most of that oil and yuck out. See, the pink's almost gone already. Let's give it a good swirl. This is pretty much clean now. Let's give it a good bang out. Just help dislodge any of that dirt. Next step's to give it a really good rinse out. You want to rinse out any of that oil, the old cleaner and anything else. It'll also help blast out any bits of debris that you've missed, so we'll give it a good rinse. I like to go from the inside out. You don't really want to blast dirt and oil into the filter. Try and blast it outwards first.
Just a good thorough cleaning. I don't know if you can see, but the colour of that water is pretty clean. So that gives you a good indication that you've got your filter clean. Alright. Next stage is to let it dry, so we'll let it dry for about half an hour. I'm going to put it in front of my little heater and we'll let that dry. These things dry really quickly. Obviously being a fine element type of thing, they dry really quick, so we'll dry this up and then we'll get on to the next stage of oiling it up before reinstallation. So you can see I've just got that drying in front of the heater. That'll take about 20 minutes and get to the next step. Okay guys, while we're waiting for the filter to dry, remember we put that intake and induction cleaner through the engine, so the idea is it cleans as it's going through, but it also attaches itself to the inside and the top of your valve, cylinder head, inlet manifold, intercooler piping and intercooler. The idea is you put half a can through, you let it sit for 10 or 15 minutes and then you start it up and sort of flush it out a little bit. So we'll just do that now while we're waiting for the air cleaner to dry. And that's just about done. Now, on cars that are heavily carboned up, like this car's got a new cylinder head on it, and I do this regularly, so there's not a lot of gunk in the system. It is totally normal to see a lot of blue smoke, typically blue smoke, burning oil or burning gunk in the engine get flushed out. That's a good sign. That's a sign that the chemicals worked and it's flushed out some gunk from your engine. I did see a tiny puff when I started it, but like I said, this one's pretty clean and well maintained, so not a lot of stuff to flush out. But really helps revitalise the engine and increase airflow, stop all that gunk build up inside your cylinder head and intake manifold. So we'll get on to the oiling and reinstallation of the air filter. Okay, so our filter's all nice and dry. We've let that dry for about half an hour in front of the heater. You can see it still has a tiny bit of a pinkish hue to it, but it's pretty much gone. It's whitish grey colour, which is about as clean as you'll get an old filter like this. And don't worry, if you haven't got 100% of the water out, it's not a huge issue. Some people jump up and down, or you can't have any water in your intake system. Settle down. People use water injection, remember, so a tiny bit of a mist of water that may get sucked in from this will not do any damage at all. Try and get 90% out, but if you've left a little bit in there, it's not a big deal. Alright, so we've got the K&N filter oil. Once again, I only recommend using this type of oil. I wouldn't use anything else. Like I said, it's cheap enough to be cost effective when you're servicing your air cleaner. So getting back to when we pulled the filter off, I think you remember I had that pinkish sort of hue on the filter, so we want to pretty much replicate that. So just sort of even strokes. You can't really go too wrong. So hopefully this will pick it up, but you can sort of see as I apply it, it's sort of turning that pinkish colour. You don't want to go too crazy. Right, so we've done that way, and we'll give it a quick go in the other direction. Trying to make sure you get it into the cracks. And that's done. So as you can see, we've got that pinkish hue that we had before. And that's done. We'll just wipe off the excess with a rag and it'll be ready for reinstallation. So I'm just wiping off the excess oil here. Probably doesn't hurt to give it a light, really light spray inside. to make sure she's 100% covered. And that is ready for installation. So once again guys, this system is only for washable pod filters. Any washable pod filter, I would assume, doesn't matter, you can use the K&N clip as long as it's a washable air cleaner. You try and do this to a cheap non-washable air filter and you will destroy it. So it's only for the washable air cleaners. Alright, so we'll pop our hose clamp back on, oriented in the preferred way so it's good for easy access. So we're just reinstalling the pod filter to the induction pipe now. So simply slide the pod filter on. I like to have the hose clamp pointing up so I can get to it easily. Doesn't have to be super tight. Refit your cover. Refit your 3 screws or however many fixtures you have for your airbox design. Like I said at the start, there are a couple of different designs in these, but they're all quite similar, more or less. Make sure it's not going to rub or touch on anything. I've got a couple of little bits of rubber because these things are prone to squeak and carry on, these airboxes. Alright, a bit of a wipe. Just checking our work, of course. Yep, we know that tight. The air cleaner's tight, there's not much to it. That's sitting in the right spot. There you go guys. Hope you like my quick tutorial on how to clean your driver's side airbox pod filter with the K&N cleaning system. I hope you found that helpful. Just quickly, just don't forget the wheel giveaway. I'm giving away a set of 20-inch Argents. Check out my other videos for entries to win the 20-inch Argents. And also check out my merch store. We've got a new merch store that launched. T-shirts and hoodies, caps, singlets, stickers. So go and check out www.kevspec.com and check out the wheel giveaway. Thank you for all of my subscribers and thanks for watching. Love yous.